I grew up in a family that is part of the Jewish families in Baghdad, in Iraq. When I was a little boy, my parents and my extended family spoke only Arabic. For me, Arabic is a nostalgia. Was my mother. I can hear my mother. I can hear my beloved grandmother speaking to me in Arabic. And in school, I strove to be a proper Israeli, one that speaks the language properly, without any traces of the Arabic language. I realized that this is an anomaly, and I have to catch up and try to learn my mother tongue again. I went to a school studying from scratch. I was adamant that I'm going to study Arabic. This is it. There's no way back. 3-4 years after I studied Arabic, I decided to start translating. My friend, the late Salman Atur, told me, Yuda, take my novel and translate it. And I said, are you crazy? And he said, Yuda, try it. I read Hebrew, I can correct you. The practical thing was that I was working with Salman in a dialogue. I mean, we didn't plan it this way, but that was the model that took place on the ground. We established Maktoob and decided to start translating books and do a political thing together with it.
The political meaning of the project starts with confronting the current situation in Israel, in which we have, on the one hand, ignorance, which means the vast majority of Jewish Israelis cannot read Arabic. The percentages are super minor, about 0.4% of Jewish Israelis can read a book in Arabic. We also have ignorance in Arab culture, in understanding the political, the social, the cultural situation of the societies that surround us.
And what Maktoob is trying to do is to tell our story and to bring our point of view as Palestinians and as Arabs through literature, to explain to the Israeli readers that Arabic culture is much more rich and diverse than what they know.
It's one of the most effective political and cultural actions that we can do in order to change the political reality.
Since 1870 till this day, there were approximately 220 books that translated from Arabic to Hebrew, which is nothing.
Arabic is the closest language to Hebrew in the world. Having said that, about 70% of the translations of literature are made from English to Hebrew, then followed by French, followed by German, followed by Spanish, followed by Italian, followed by Russian, followed by Swedish, then comes Arabic. Less than 1% of the translations that are made from different languages into Hebrew are made from Arabic to Hebrew.
We can't now teach all the Jewish Arabic language, even that I think that we should. But we can't do it effectively now. We can translate this narrative, these stories, this literature.
In 5 years, we translated approximately 30 books, all of them according to the model of Maktoob that was developed out of practice.
We have a large and growing community of translators and editors. We hold an annual translation seminar and many activities and events to maintain a dialogue between them. Through this, we are creating a new generation of translators, editors, and researchers.
Before the modern era, translation was a collective enterprise. Translation was part of a dialogue between people. Only in the modern era, the translation became a craft of a sole translator who sits by himself or by herself to translate without talking to anybody. It doesn't make sense that translation from Arabic to Hebrew will be done without Arabs.
in each of the books that is translated by Maktoob, we have a joint team of a Jewish Israeli and a Palestinian citizen of Israel who work together. Together they discuss the way that the text should be transferred and translated from the Arabic language and Arabic culture into Hebrew, which means it's not a hegemonic Jewish-only mission, but it's a joint mission.
We are working on a novel. It's called, in Arabic, it's called تذكرتان إلى صفورية, Two Tickets to Safuria. It's written by Salim El-Beik.
It speaks about a very specific experience of a refugee who lives in exile.
Working together gives us sort of both perspectives. It's the best understanding of the Arabic texts Israeli Jew can understand. It fills in the gaps.
There's a certain voice in Arabic literature that may not be conveyed into other languages if the translator is not Arabic or Palestinian in this case.
Many authors in Palestine and the Arab world, they hesitate a lot to have any relationship with Israel or any institution working inside Israel. But then people see what we do, they see the books that we translate, they see our agenda, and most of them actually they support our project and they understand that we are doing a very important work and that we are different. We are translating their books because we want to tell their story.
Dialogue in the context of Maktoob can be done between translators and can be done between translators and authors. I had a great privilege to be close to the famous Lebanese writer Ilyas Khouri. All the translation of Ilyas Khouri, at least that as I'm doing it, it's kind of a conversation with him. Because in reality we converse.
What we are doing is more than literary. And even I think it goes beyond politics. We are dealing with the human experience, with the human sufferings in a region which, since the year I was born, was condemned to wars and to blood and to hatred, which means that there must be a way out of this. This is in the context of a very, very clear point of departure, which is our belief in justice. We are in the camp of the oppressed, of the marginalized.
My mission in Maktoob is being part of bringing the silenced narrative, the silenced story, to tell the Palestinian story through literature.
We want to do something with these books. We translate them because we hope that they will change the mind of Israeli.
We have a community of over 500 subscribers, and it's growing constantly. They are very committed to Maktoob. We also organize book events in schools, universities, community centers. We take part in book fairs and cultural fairs.
When we do also book launches, we read also in Arabic for the Israeli to hear Arabic in a different context, not in a threatening context. Even we see some success in this, in some books that we had, like when we translated the Ilyas Khouri novel about the Nakba, and the book was very successful in sales. So you can tell that this is not like something you would expect, because it's not easy for Israeli to read an Arab writer speaking about the Nakba.
Translation in a colonial context, in a conflict atmosphere, hostile environment, is a political action. It is facing the power structure because it's changing, aim to change the power relationship.
Maktoob for me is not only a translation project, it's a model for binationalism. It's a model that should be followed in politics also. Maktoob will continue fostering new texts and dialogues because our future is based on these cultural spaces and cultural understanding between the two people.